Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Eric with SweetSpotDFS, and these are my PrizePicks PGA plays for the 2022 Houston Open. I'm gonna give you my favorite round 1 plays, my strategies for rounds 2, 3, and 4, and my favorite PGA DFS picks a little bit later on in the video. But first, I want to remind you guys that I run a giveaway every single week for new signups on PrizePicks. All you gotta do, use the promo code SweetSpot and put a minimum deposit of $20 into your account, and you're automatically entered. And the great thing about this is your entry will never go away. So if you don't win this week, you will be entered into next week's giveaway, and so on and so forth until your name is called. So no matter what, you're gonna win 20 bucks. And the other great thing about this, PrizePicks is gonna match your deposit up to $100. So if you put $20, $25 in, you're basically gonna be playing this for free, and you're gonna have $40 to $50 into your account. So highly encourage you guys to go do that. There is a link in my description below. That'll get you straight to the sign up page, and it will also populate that code so you don't even have to write it in. Super simple, super easy. I highly encourage you guys to do it. Let's get in this thing. We're gonna start here with single stat DFS, final finishing place for these PGA picks. If you're with me in the preview and the strategy video, you know I'm already on a bunch of these guys. Like, I really like Sam Burns. I really like Cameron Smith. Their final finishing place is pretty low. In fact, if we look at all of the projections on PrizePicks for finishing place, they're pretty stingy. Like, they're low. So, I applaud PrizePicks for it because I think these are really good. They're really close to kind of where I project a lot of these guys to be at. I like Burns and I like Smith a lot this week. I would say if you're kind of iffy on Burns, I don't mind the over, but I'm going to hit the under on both of these guys. Cam Smith is my ultimate favorite one in this field. I think he finishes top 10 pretty easy, but we get a little bit of leeway here at 18.5. So if you can get this projection as quick as possible, I definitely hit the under. One guy I'm going to pick on is Matthew Wolff. I just don't see it this week. If you watch the preview and strategy videos, you'll understand why. I'm going to hit the over. And just a reminder, when you're playing PGA on PrizePicks, you can't have all 5 unders, or you can't have all unders, you can't have all overs. You need to have at least 1 over and 1 under, and then whatever the rest that you choose. So Matthew Wolff is going to be my over. I do like Sung J M at this course. It's going to be a tough track on Bermuda. Sung J M's really good. And having these 3 golfers, Burns, Smith, and Sung Jae, all finishing better than 20th, I like it. I think it's pretty, I shouldn't say it's simple, but I think there's a good chance that happens. Especially when you look at the rest of these projections. Like Mark Leishman, 28.5, that's pretty forgiving, but I don't know how I feel about that. Patrick Reed, same thing. I do like Reed this week, but I don't know if I'm going to get there with Reed. 25.5 is exactly where I think he should be. I'm going to go with Neiman. And Neiman had a really good finish last week. Does that translate over here? I don't know. Time will tell. I will say this, looking at the bucket system, which obviously is what I do in my preview and strategy videos, you do want someone who finished top 20 last week. Well, I should say it's a good chance they're going to finish inside the top 10. So I'm kind of liking Joaquin Neiman's projection here, because 27.5 is not difficult at all. I was going to pick on some of these other guys, maybe Brooks Koepka, maybe Tyrrell Hatton. Tony Finau's exactly where I think he should be. I think he can play a lot better than 22.5, but I'm going to stick here. I'm going to put this one in for you guys. We're only putting $5, pretty low stakes, not going to, go too wild on it. So $5 here, try to win 50. I like this one a lot. Now, there are birdies are better, greens and reg, fairways hit. I don't really have data when it comes to greens and reg or fairways hit. Birdies are better, might be a little bit easier to go by. And this is going to actually transition me to talk about what we can anticipate at this golf course, because we're also going to look at fantasy score here a little bit shortly. But if we take a look, so I only have 1 year of data because this golf course they're playing on, that we only have 1 year of data. The Houston Open has been played since 1946. And prior to last year, it was at the Golf Club of Houston. Last year it changed to Memorial Park, so we're only going to use that 1 year of data. And if you look at the averages for each round, we're stuck somewhere between, 68.74 was the low round last year, and that was in round 4. I'm thinking the weather was good and the pins might not have been as difficult. But for the rest of it, we're looking at 71.3 being the average amongst those 3 rounds. So with that being said, I don't think scoring is going to be easy, meaning I don't think there's going to be a lot of birdies. When we look at the projections, birdies are better. It's all around 4 for every one of these golfers. So I think that's a really good projection. I think 4 might be the max. Like, I think that might be the cap for a lot of these guys. I don't think there's going to be a lot of birdies made at this golf course. So you're gonna have to make some tough decisions, which will transition me to the next piece, which is looking at my own database. So basically, I just put this on spreadsheet form so you guys can take a look at it. What I want to do is really just look at their scoring average, their rounds under 70, their percentage, and then round 1 averages. If anything is below 6 or below 70, I'm kind of cool with either putting them as the over with birdies or the unders with their scoring projections. So I've highlighted all the golfers with green that I have a little bit more confidence in. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of these filters on, and I'm going to leave it probably right here. So these are all the guys that have their round 1 average over the last 1 full year under 70. So basically for me, I think any birdies or even their projections for round 1 scoring, we could probably hit the unders for the round scoring and then maybe the overs with the birdies. But if I'm going to go just a little bit further than that, I think what I'd want to do is then look at just these golfers here. I think these 4 probably had the best opportunity to have more than 4 birdies in a round. So why don't we go ahead and pick 1, 2, maybe 3 of these guys, or maybe just stick with 1. I think I'm going to go with Cameron Smith. I mean, his round under 70 is the best. Sung Jae is right there as well, but Sung Jae doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. He hits a lot of pars and then birdies a little bit. So we're going to go with Cam Smith to hit the over with our birdies, and then we're going to pick on the rest of the guys. So Matt Wolff, I'm actually going to hit over. Brooks Koepka, or not over, under. Brooks Koepka, I'm going to hit under. I'm also going to do the same thing with Adam Scott, and I'm going to do the same thing with Mark Leishman. These guys I just don't have as much confidence in, so we're going to put $5 on this. That was easy. The last thing, fantasy score. This is going to apply to the same thing we were just looking at with the 4 golfers here. The best opportunities, I think, for golfers shooting 68 or better, because that is what our projections are for everybody except for Scott, Neiman, and Leishman. And Wolff. I'm going to actually just hit Neiman right away. I like this. It's a par 70 golf course. He only needs to shoot 2 under. I think he can do that pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and double down on Cameron Smith. And then I think we probably want to choose some golfers that are in the morning wave. That's probably going to be the easier split tomorrow. So I can go back to my other spreadsheet, take a look at this. I do have this already sorted by something else that I'll talk about here a little bit shortly. But why don't we go ahead and just look at all of our golfers in the PrizePicks pool and what their tee times are. Anybody in the morning. So these golfers I've highlighted: Scott, Reed, Neiman. So we already have Neiman, Finau, Wolff, and Mark Leishman. I like that. I think Neiman is just my slam dunk for getting the under on his scoring projection. Some of these other guys I might hit the over. I think I'm going to hit the over with Brooks. Probably going to hit the over. Man, the rest of these guys are kind of difficult. Well, let's just put Neiman and Brooks in first. So let's unselect this. And where's my Brooks? Is he even here? There he is. We'll hit him with the over. So we're going to start here. And then I think we can just mix and match, because the golfers I want to select are in the afternoon. And I think it's going to be a little bit tougher in the afternoon. Not by much. I think it's going to be a little tougher. I'm going to go with Sung Jae on the over. I'm going to hit Finau with the under. And one more, because I like doing all 5. So why don't we select one more morning guy? kind of want to select Matthew Wolff hitting the under, and this would go against what I did with the birdies. Mark Leishman. We're gonna go with Mark Leishman. We're gonna pick on Mark Leishman hitting the over. I don't trust Mark Leishman all that much. We're gonna hit the over, and there we have it. There's our 3 selections, our 3 entries for round 1. Let's talk about round 2, 3, and 4. I highly recommend you guys go to winfinder.com. This is where we like to do strategies. Look the day before, primarily the night before, and see what the weather or what the wind is doing. It does have every 3-hour increments. So we are on Thursday, and if we're looking at 9 a.m., we can see the wind's blowing at 10 miles an hour. At noon, it's at 9. 3 p.m., it's back to 10. And then 6 p.m., it's at 7. So on Thursday, it's not that big of a deal. And maybe we should have looked at this before making our selections, but I'm okay with it. Friday, again, just come here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this is where you want to be. And if you need to figure it out, we're in Houston, Texas. So when you look at Houston, the golf course is kind of right to the left of the H. So we go down, you can actually see it says Memorial Park. This is where the golf course is. Memorial Park Golf Course. So that's where you want to go with winfinder.com. Let's look at my favorite picks this week on PGA DFS. So I like to go by, I like to pick 3 golfers in each price category. So we have our 10K golfers. My favorites, Sam Burns, Sung J M, Cameron Smith. Talked about this in the preview, talked about this in the strategy. These are my selections. In the 9K range, I have Adam Scott, Joaquin Niemann, and Aaron Wise. I think those are all solid plays. I'm probably going to build most of my lineups with these 9K golfers because I think they're dynamite this week. 8K range, we got Russell Henley, Mark Leishman, Cameron Tringali. 7K range, we've got Mackenzie Hughes, Charlie Hoffman, Ryan Palmer. And then in the 6K range, Luke List, Scott Stallings, and Sam Ryder. We didn't really talk about List or Stallings in the preview or the strategy, but they are some of my lower ranked golfers in the 6K range. So figured probably smart golfers to go with. So that's all that I have for you guys. A little bit longer than usual, but still good nonetheless. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's win some money this week. All right, bye.